What's good, guys? Your boy, Mr. Old School Ryder on the Mr. Old School Ryder podcast, straight from Memphis, Tennessee. Of course, one of my favorite cities. And I have a very special guest in Memphis. Tell us about yourself, sir.
Hey,
What's your name?
first of all, how you doing, Ryder?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Oh man, my pleasure, my pleasure. I'm Jimmy Townsend, really Jim Townsend, aka Jimmy Townsend, and I'm from Memphis, by Chicago, Illinois. I migrated there and then back to Memphis again. So this is where I'm at.
Oh, man, it's an honor to have you on the show right now. I see you burning up the internet right now, man. I'm glad to have you on the show. We're going to talk a little noise here just for a little bit. So, Mr. Townsend, tell us about yourself, sir.
Meaning, do you need to know my age? You don't need to know my age.
They know.
They know already?
They know. It's public record.
Oh, it is? Okay, yeah.
I seen the comments online like, oh, he look young. I see what's going on.
No.
Yeah, you got a big fan base out there.
Yeah, I'm building one, but thank God to that. But yeah, I'm Jimmy Townsend. I'm 74 years old. As you all know, those that know me, have been keeping up with me. You know, I did 27 years in federal prison for nonviolent crime. I didn't kill nobody. Everybody think, man, you did 27 years in prison. And actually on a life sentence with no possibility of parole. But see how God is. I'm here with you guys here, and what can I say? God is good.
How was it like doing 27 years? I know that's not no easy feat to do, but what was it like back then?
How you do it?
Yeah.
One day at a time.
One day at a time?
One day at a time. That's all you can do, one day at a time.
That's all right there.
And of course, everybody know I had, actually I had a life sentence without the possibility of parole, like I said. And so, but that's what man gave me. But as you can see, Tony, I'm sitting here talking with you and to my audience. So God is good once again. So.
Right about there. God said it's time to go.
That's right. Yeah.
You had enough, man. Anything more than a day is too much for me in jail, man.
Well, I can look at you and tell you can't do no time, Tony.
I had some. I told the story before, but yeah, man. For some reason, I'm almost like 3 weeks on the ticket.
On a traffic ticket?
Yeah.
What kind of traffic ticket was that?
You know what? It was already paid for.
Yeah.
But it was a mistaken identity. I was in a country town, in that same Cutlass. They got me hemmed up back in '99, of course, but that car got me in trouble for real. They pulled me over, took my car, told me to call up. They thought I had drugs and all this stuff in the car.
Yeah.
I had to get my cousin to get me out.
Yeah.
But it took like a week and a half to find me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Been there, done that. You got to be very, very careful going through those hick towns, They had me jammed up in Olive Branch, Mississippi, and that's right across the state line.
Oh, shoot.
When they finished with me, I was out about $500 or $600 for a little speeding ticket. That I wasn't speeding, so yeah, you got to be careful in those little hick towns, man.
I'm trying to tell you, man, but I don't wish y'all on nobody, man, unless they did some for real stuff,
Yeah, that's right.
Man, for what you did, I'm like, it was kind of silly, man. I mean, I know it was motivated by other stuff, the other people or whatever.
Yeah, well, in my book, I go on to tell, because really people don't, they speculate and they add to it and take away. You know how the social media is. But, yeah, I received that life sentence without the possibility of parole for, like I said, nonviolent crime. I mean, when you really think about it, murders and serial killers and all them get a chance to get at least a number or, get a chance to really get some kind of reprieve. But basically that sentence was a death sentence, because the only way I was supposed to came out of prison was in a box.
Ooh.
You see, so that's where they had designed it. But once again, like I said, but God.
Wow.
And let me say this about myself too, Tony. Y'all probably gonna hear me saying and using God enough, a lot. And but I just got to give him the glory, man, because when you think about it, man, what he brought me out of, through and out of, man, I'm telling you. And when you read the book, when I take the book really, it's autobiography, but most people are trying to really make it be about Marjorie and Steve Harvey. But I mean, of course, they're in it because they played a part. She played an intricate part in my life, and so I mean, I got to tell like I said, it's a tell-all book, because what's been going on really across the social media, and I just got pretty much that was part of the reason I came on out with the truth because they got the social media, man. Y'all know how social media works.
You can't beat the internet, man.
Man, you cannot. So
try, you're gonna be looking crazy.
Man, they got everything. Even with my kids, they got my kids, and I got 2 kids about Marjorie, and boy and a girl, and of course she got 3. Lori. They got me being Lori's dad. They got Morgan being Donnell's Lori's dad, and they got Steve being Lori. Man, it's just all crazy, and
Man, there's so many memes out there, man. Just like, woo.
Yeah, it's real crazy. And
it's crazy out there.
So I've been asked a lot of questions about really why I'm writing a book, and like I tell people, listen, don't think it's not about me throwing Marjorie or Steve Harvey under the bus. But I do tell people, and I will continue to tell that, man. You know, Marjorie got a lot of things she got to confess to, and she know what time it is, and really I love her to the moon and back. You know, because she's the mother of my 2 kids, so I would never really do nothing. It's not about throwing her under the bus. But when you really read the book, and then you see what really took place, and why I really came out of the closet. Not from that perspective.
Oh, yeah,
when I came out the closet. Don't get that twisted.
You know they're going to clip it.
Yeah, they're going to clip it. I came out, let me clarify that now, when I came out of the closet with the truth.
I'm not going to clip it like that. I guarantee you that. I'm not going to do it.
No, it ain't about that. One thing about it, I love me some women, you know. So, but anyway, I just came out with, that's why the book is really the Snakes in the Garden, The Untold Truth.
That's a hell of a title. I love that, man. I love that cover too, man.
Yeah, most people do. So
I don't know who did that, but man, they did a great job.
Yeah, Wiley did that. Wiley did that. My manager, he did that. But yeah, that's what time it is. And I just really want people to look over my life, because what I'm saying, I'm really building allowing God to build me a platform to just reach a lot of people, because I'm thinking about doing me a podcast or whatever, so I can just talk about the things that I've been through. You name it, I'm talking about. you name it, I've been through it. I don't think you can name one thing that I hadn't been through, from child abuse, child molestation, being sexually raped by an older woman, that turned me out, and put me on the road that I went from a sexual perspective, sex addiction, dad totally abusive, physically and mentally, you name it. Had to live with domestic violence, seeing my mom beat unmercifully by my dad. Man, it goes on and on. So what I'm saying is, I walked in shoes, so I know I can talk to kids. And one thing about it, I want people to know, because I want to really reach the kids. Because as a kid, I went through all those things. And so coming up, I didn't have nobody to talk. I didn't know I could, go and talk to somebody. You hold that stuff in you, You put a Band-Aid on it through life. And so doing so, I remember my brother Leroy, he told me, because he went through the same abuse. And he was like saying, Jimmy, man, the way our father treated us, it's a wonder if we didn't become serial killers. It was just that devastating, And but anyway, that's what I want to do. Try to talk to kids and first and foremost, I'll tell them about this person that I know, Jesus Christ. And then I want to tell them about. Don't be afraid. Find somebody to go and talk to, that you can trust. Because I'm gonna tell you, as you know it, every family got skeletons in the closet. Boy. You see what I'm saying? Some might be more severe than others, but families got, skeletons in the closet. So really, I'm building a platform to talk to kids and adults. It's the adults that you're talking to too.
It's never too late to learn something.
There you go. That's right.
Yeah, you got a hell of a story to tell. And once the book come out, I'm also going to be giving away 2 to 3 books once they come out. If you guys want to hit me up, just let me know. I'll shoot it out to you.
Good.
You got to support black business,
I like that. That's right.
That's going to transition into your podcast, your book, and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically, whenever you have a book, like I talk about on the Rise Book Club, that book that you have, you can cut that up and make it in different categories. You can come out with an e-course. You can do a podcast. You can monetize that book to do multiple things. And what I liked about the book that's coming out here pretty soon, man, you can make that book work for you in many ways.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, tell me how.
We're gonna tell you how. We can tell you how.
Tell me how.
We talked about. We're gonna talk about it on the back end, but
okay.
Yeah, the book is gonna be different avenues for you, man. It's not gonna just like here buy my book and that's gonna be it.
That's right.
I mean, like you say, you want to reach out to the kids and some
Right,
adults
right,
as well.
right,
Man,
right.
so basically, you can take a chapter or whatever the story may be. Man, you can make that work.
That's a good idea, you know?
Yeah, that book. I mean, you gonna have your podcast. You can go on tour. Hopefully, you're going on tour.
I am, man. In fact, I want to come to Atlanta. You're going to set up me a book tour.
There you go.
Yeah.
Y'all heard that exclusive right there.
Yeah, ain't no question.
Yeah, he coming to Atlanta soon.
That's right.
Y'all hit me up. I give y'all one of those books when it come out.
You said you're going to give away 3.
I'm give away 3. Yeah, let me
Okay,
know
go
when
ahead.
it come out so I can go ahead and pay for it.
No, it's good.
I got you, man.
And
Yeah, I'm gonna get one for myself, autographed copy, of course. But
most definitely.
so, what's your motivation nowadays?
As far as I'm telling you, going back and again, going back to talking to kids. That's really, I don't want people to lose focus on that because that's really a heartfelt thing. And once again, like I said, because I went through that, so I understand. So it's and I tell people over and over, man, it's about the kids, man. All you got to do is look around. Look at these kids today, man. I mean, these kids today, man, they're off the change. You know that.
Oh man,
And
it's terrible.
like I was listening to as you interviewed Thaddeus, like he was saying, grandmothers now 35 years old,
Whew.
and they don't have a clue. It is. I mean, it's a sad situation, but I mean that's where I'm at. And being old school, and I'm really old school because I mean I go all the way back to the civil rights area, right?
Oh, yeah.
Colored water fountain. I remember that white water fountain, colored restroom. Right? I lived that era. You see what I'm saying? So I went through that era, and so I know even though during that era, man, we was poor. We didn't even realize we was poor. It was just like a normative of life at that time, pretty much. But yet and still, there was so much. It was a lot of honor and respect, and especially for young adults or kids, for their parents and grown ups.
Mm.
But as you can see, and you're a witness, it's that kids don't really have no respect for grown ups. They just off the change. They don't understand because they haven't been being taught, man. It's about the kids. It's about the next generation, man.
It's fast.
This culture is it's I don't know, man. It's hell bent. You know.
I mean, something got to give.
It does. It really
Most
does,
definitely.
man. So you asked me my motivation, and that's what it is. I continue, and I will continue to go back to that. For me, it's about the kids. You see. So I don't know. Do you have any kids?
I got one right now, but yeah, he's a little shorty right now. He fired.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to make sure he all right. Yeah, I had to make sure I'm responsible with my platform as well.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, even though I talk about different subjects and stuff, I like a good story, but also at the same time with me, there are life lessons in everything.
Yeah. See, but the only thing you can do is just give them the truth,
You got to get the truth.
and then they're gonna make their choices. And don't say they can't use. See, I hate that word. Make a mistake when you do something that you know wrong. See, there's no such thing as that. There's no mistake. No, you made a
That's right.
conscious choice, and there's consequences behind it.
Yeah, true.
Right. So yeah, man.
Consequences. That's what I was looking for. There you go.
Yeah.
Yes, consequences to everything.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah, we know right from wrong.
Yeah.
We most
yeah.
definitely
Wrong
do.
is wrong and right is right. Right.
And so basically, life has its consequences, regardless of the things that you do. Just gotta be careful, but don't forget, if it go wrong, it's gonna go very wrong. Is that right?
That's right. I'm telling you. And you back very behind it. You're right.
So I know you can't tell us everything in the book, but tell us about like back in the day, in your heyday, when you was doing your thing.
Well, back in the day, and I tell people I was pretty much a pioneer, and when I say this, don't y'all think I'm being braggadocious. It's not, but I'm just saying it was what it was, and it is what it is. And so back in the days, like I said, I migrated, during the civil rights era, because things during the civil rights era, well, you know how it was, how blacks was treated, especially in this Jim Crow city.
Mm.
I mean, we know how desperate it was here because, I mean, the Prince of Martin Luther King, he died in this very city fighting for our civil rights. So, but I just got fed up as a young man, came out of high school, couldn't really get a job. So my thing, and I tell people, it was never my desire to be a drug dealer, because I didn't mind working hard. I'm the type of person, I even done chop cotton, pick cotton. I did that.
Yeah, my uncles was saying that too. They were chopping copy back in the late 60s and 70s, early 70s.
Yeah, and I go on to tell about that ordeal in the book. But yeah, so I had to get up out of this town. So me and my partner hopped the train. We have a train, went to Chicago.
Big city.
Yeah, of course. You know, a year or so he couldn't make it. You know, the city got too big for him. But I was determined to make it. So, and I did. I survived that. They said, you know, they had an old cliche there in Chicago. They said, if you can't make it in Chicago, you can't make it nowhere.
Wow, that's facts.
Yeah, he couldn't make it though. But I made it. I just couldn't come back to Memphis. I didn't want to, you know. So, but anyway, and so that's how I got involved with drugs. And really, I went there and had a good job, decent job. But I had a criminal mind. And I got caught up. I go to tell about most people when I talk about it. I know younger kids, they don't even know nothing about a payphone. And yeah, I was a phone collector there. I got the training. And so anyway, I did that, and one thing led to another. So eventually, got caught stealing, you know, out the payphones, and got fired. And so I went to. Long story short, I ended up in the drug game. Well, I went from that to insurance, believe it or not, selling insurance.
Oh, sure. That's a fun fact right there.
But this insurance was.
You look like an insurance man.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah.
No, but back then it was a, you know, it was a foot soldier. You was a foot soldier insurance man. You had to go collect.
Oh, I seen them.
You seen them? You remember?
Oh,
yeah. Yeah.
Man, my generation was like kind of like the last generation for a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Pay phones, insurance folks on foot.
Oh, really? But you millennial, right? You a millennial.
Ah, shit. What do they call it? I'm 43. Is that right?
That's millennial. I think that's.
Or is it generation something? No, I'm not a millennial.
No, because my son is 42.
I'm 43.
He's a millennial. He's a millennial. I think it
See,
is.
I thought it cut off at 80 or something like. I gotta look that up. That's wow.
I think it is though. I think it is. Google it. But anyway, yeah. So anyway, long story short, that's where I really got into the drug game. And you, when you read the book, you'll see it's funny how I got into it. And actually, a little 18-year-old turned me out, female, into the game. But yeah, I'm not gonna tell your name. But anyway.
No, we ain't gonna do all that right now. They'll find out pretty.
Yeah. So
soon.
I don't want to tell the whole story. But anyway, it's funny though, you know. And so yeah, that's what happened. So
I guess what we call in the South the young folks, you jumped off the porch, but I think it's a different term for you now. I don't know what's the term. I guess you got turned in pretty much or turned out.
Turn out what? Turn
you know,
out?
like in the game.
In the game.
What's the term when you like getting on, like doing what you did?
Yeah, I guess I got turned out. You know, yeah, selling drugs.
Okay.
Because like I said, it was never my desire or purpose to sell drugs. You see what I'm saying? I was a hard worker, didn't mind working, and that's why I went to Chicago to find me a decent job. You see?
Yeah, all the jobs was over there back in the day too.
Yeah, it was. It was terrible. You know. The white man really had his foot down on the black man.
Man, that was real back then. Wow. Whew.
Yeah. I wouldn't wish that on nobody.
Right about that. Y'all had it rough, man.
We did. You know. We paid the way for you. So don't never forget that now.
I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah. So.
I mean, I grew up in a little country rural myself. My younger years, I had an outhouse.
Oh, you remember?
That was the end of that generation right there.
Man, stop lying.
I'm dead ass.
In Dallas?
Yeah, I got to show you. When I go down there later, I'm going to have to take a picture of it. We still got that property.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we still got that old outhouse out there.
Well, I didn't use the outhouse. I was scared to death because snakes was in there. And I had a phobia. I write about that in the book. I had a phobia with snakes.
I had a cool way.
Yeah, so.
Man, I had a couple situations. It was close.
Yeah.
Man, I got the hell up out of there, man. It was a couple times.
Yeah.
That little snake trying to come through there, man. I'm like, you ain't finna get me, man. Hey, I came out with my pants down, but hey.
Yeah, I didn't go in, so.
You ain't finna end my career that early.
Man, I'm telling you. Yeah.
It would have been over.
Yeah, they had a saying called crazy than a shithouse rat. You ever heard that? That's what they said. Right?
Yeah, my uncle used to say that, man. That's crazy, man.
You know why they said that, right?
Tell me why they said that.
Because a rat was crazy as hell to go into a outhouse.
Man.
You know, because snakes hang out.
Yup.
And they love rats. So they were saying that you crazy than a shithouse rat.
That's why you got to sprinkle that lime in there.
Yeah. Oh, so you do know.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I thought you...
You got to keep that smell out and keep the little critters and stuff out.
Right. There you go.
You got to have like a big 20-pound lime every now and then.
Yeah.
You got to put it down so you can pack it in there, get that smell out. And also, now this is getting graphic over here, but you got to make sure the waste kind of go down a little bit.
Yeah.
Then you wash it out every now and then.
Oh, so he knows.
You have to look like a little ditch.
So he ain't faking, y'all. He really know the real deal.
No, I'm a country boy, man.
Oh, okay.
You know, I'm in that generation. We didn't have running water like that. We had a well.
Oh, yeah.
At first, we had the crank-up well. Then later, we got like an electric pump.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, see, I left when very young. I left when I was like 6 years old, Mississippi. But I remember the water, like you said, the well water. But I mean, it was like, well, that was the norm. You know how rusted it was.
Hmm.
Was it like that? The well water?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Where I lived at, we was next to the Trinity River.
Okay.
You know, we caught like the back end of it. Some days the water was good, but most of the time that water was like, yeah, I had to get a lot of work done to my teeth and everything. It built up like a lot of calcium
Yeah, yeah.
in my mouth over the years. But I'm still spending money right now to get all my teeth fixed, but it built up a lot of plaque and calcium on your teeth. Looked like you had plaque, but it's calcium
Really?
from the water and stuff with all this stuff in there.
Yeah. Well, this water, yeah, it had it was like it looked rusty,
Yup.
like nails. You know how if you put nails in it, it's like it rust. I mean, it was like pea colored.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? It looked like that, and it tastes.
You go on
Oh,
and feel
but
it.
you know what? It really tasted good at that time because I didn't know no other. You know.
Sure, I ain't have no bottled water to like. I ain't really have bottled water until I started playing football, like in 8th, 9th grade.
Mm.
Yeah, we basically went to the high school and went to the school in the city. Yeah, when I was younger, most of the time the school was like in a little country area.
Really.
But you know, when all the kids got together, like in town,
Mm-hmm.
basically, that's when I found out when I was poor for real.
Oh,
Man,
yeah.
it was rough, man.
See, that's what I was trying to say. You know, we was poor and didn't even know we was poor. I mean, well, I shouldn't say that because, well, I didn't know maybe the definition for poor, but not to have nothing to eat sometimes, that eating white bread with sugar on it and all, you poor.
Sugar sandwich, syrup sandwiches,
Yeah,
and
man,
everything.
yeah.
Man.
So, yeah, man, but that was like the norm, you know. But it did get kind of scandalous later on when I got older and realized just what a predicament we was really in.
I mean, it was a lot of hand-me-downs and things like that. I got a pair of name brand shoes back in 3rd grade in '93, a pair of Nike Classics.
Mm-hmm.
They're like the very basic tennis shoes that Nike made just for tennis.
Yeah.
Then later on, I was wearing hand-me-downs after that. I was wearing Chuck Taylors for a long time, man. It was my brothers and cousins' shoes.
Yeah.
I wear a size 11 now, but back then I was wearing like a size 7 and 8.
You got big.
Man, I had to wear like 3 pair of socks, man.
Yeah.
And them Chuck Taylors, they were flopping back then.
Really?
They was like old Chuck Taylor from like the 70s and 80s.
Yeah. Yeah, this guy, he really, he lived.
No, this is real deal,
yeah,
man.
I see. Yeah.
Got humble beginnings, man.
Unless somebody told him that he's making it up.
No, man. I show y'all pictures and stuff.
Yeah.
That's one reason they call me Mr. Old School Ryder. I basically work on old cars.
Right.
I mean, I didn't buy new cars till like later on.
Okay.
It was always a hand-me-down car or basically like it's always somebody else's stuff.
Yeah.
I had to make do.
Yeah. But you didn't tell me. Did you work on them?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was a child prodigy working on cars and stuff.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. Then.
Like people with child prodigy on music and film, I was a child prodigy working on cars.
Okay, there you go. All right.
I mean, I would change the oil probably like 14 years old.
Well, I just learned what a screwdriver was about a week ago.
For real?
Yeah.
I'm not.
I'm not mechanically. I
mean-
hate it. You know what? And you know the funny thing? You asked that. My old dad was a shade tree mechanic.
Oh, sure.
Oh, he was a grease monkey.
Oh, man.
Man, and listen, he tried his best. He tried his best to teach me how to my working on a car. I know, man. And I would work with him, right? And he would be under the car and say, "Pass him something." I'm gone. He out there reaching.
Yep.
I'm gone. I wouldn't. Yeah, I hated that, man.
I mean, I had some of the old folks say, "Boy, give me that wrench over there, man.
Yeah.
Hey, ain't nobody gonna fix this for you.
Yeah.
You gotta do this shit
Yeah,
yourself."
I heard that, but it didn't work on me. You know.
I mean, I still like working on cars here. I mean, I have like a handful of old cars I still work with. Hopefully, I get a chance to check on them once I get to Texas. But I know once I get to Dallas, it's gonna be kind of hard to do that. I gotta go straight to Houston.
Right.
I gotta be back in Atlanta by like Monday morning.
Okay.
Y'all work overnight. This gonna be a very quick turnaround.
Oh, I was about to ask you, were you on vacation or something? You know.
I mean, luckily my job don't know about the podcast like that, except for one person.
Oh, okay.
She don't give a damn, but I mean, whenever this blow up, man, they probably will, you know. But hey, shout out to y'all. That explains everything. Unfortunately, hey, y'all, please forgive me. We'll work that out later. No, but other than that, I had to learn to do a lot of stuff on my own, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I always been like in sales or like working on stuff.
Right.
I mean, I had to do stuff myself.
Right.
Either work with my hands or work with my mouth, pause or whatever. But Had to make it work, right?
Yeah. Now I like the sales, and that was my thing, sales. You know, I was a good salesman.
I was definitely on that. I'm
And
trying
like
to
I
tell you.
told you, I was selling insurance. You know, something people didn't want. You
That's a
know,
tough
so
game to break into, man.
that's what I'm telling. And in fact, the guy that turned me out to the drug game, that's one of the reasons he initiated me. Came to me because his thing was, man, if you can sell barrier policies, you know.
Oh, you sold. Oh,
Yeah, you
wow.
know the little
Ooh,
$500,
that's
$1,000.
tough.
Yeah, man. He said if you can sell them and sell those are people that you know what I'm saying you can sell this and really make some money.
Yeah, with
So it's
barrier.
crazy.
Yeah, with barrier insurance, somebody people don't want to pay what's gonna happen later.
Yeah,
They're kind of like, hey, it's just gonna happen like right now.
yeah,
How much I'm gonna give? But with the barrier insurance, you're not gonna be able to see that.
yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. The crazy thing about the burial insurance was, you know, these old people was buying these little $500, $1,000 policies where you could get buried back then. You know, pretty much for that. But you know, as time went on, they clung to those little policies. You see what I'm saying? In which they should have upgraded them
Mm.
because, of course, it got more expensive. But they clung to them little things, man, and it was hard to sell them more insurance because in their mind they thought that was sufficient. You see what I'm saying? And then they would always look at me, side-eyed, like, yeah, you
Man,
coming here trying to
God,
sell
man.
us something you don't need, we don't need. So it was hard. It was really hard.
Yeah, I know back then. I know it was tough. I know in recent times, maybe like 30 years ago, with the barrier insurance, they may see like certain people in the family that got buried. A lot of times, we want like a fancy funeral. Unfortunately,
Yeah. Well, yeah,
some people don't want to just get put in a box.
yeah. Like,
Then you try to upgrade them, like, hey, if you want to do it this way, this gonna cost this.
yeah, yeah. You got to upgrade. You got to upgrade. But you know what? Even and the funny thing about it was some of them would even upgrade it, but they still would keep those little cheap policies. And and really it was something like I don't know, sentimental to them, because their grandparents had bought it for them. Their grandparents died, and they would still pay the little policy. They put in the triple more than the policy is worth or more.
Man,
But it was crazy. They wouldn't get rid of them or cash it in. They kept paying on it. It didn't add up, and I couldn't. A lot of them I couldn't convince. No, this is old. You done paid 5 times more than it's worth.
I know some
So
people doing that right now as we speak.
really,
Oh yeah.
it's kind of
I
hard.
mean, I got older folks in my family. They like 80, 90 something.
Oh yeah, yeah, it's
Yeah,
hard.
they
Oh man,
you younger, but it was
man.
some people was buying plots.
Oh yeah.
Just a hole.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we had we had a few people in the family. Some people wasn't covered all the way.
Mm.
Some people gave us their hole basically.
Mm.
They plot. Plots were cheap, like $500-$600.
Mm.
Man, nowadays they really don't sell the plot like that no more. You gotta get the package.
You talking about in Texas now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
To some other places. I think they still do it in Louisiana, but like in some parts of Texas, you can't really do that no more.
You're right. Yeah.
Man, getting buried is, whew, you know how much it is right now?
Well, yeah, I know.
It's gonna hit you like $10,000
I'm
for
telling
basic.
at least. I just got, I'm saying I got 15. If they can't bury me for 15,000, then just throw me in an incinerator, burn me up.
Sure,
So
even
that's all
that
it is.
costs a lot right now. That ain't crazy, man.
Well, it's cheaper than
That-
than talking about
I mean, that's true.
yeah, it is much cheaper. So, but yeah, that's where I'm at on that.
So, 70 insurance is pretty much the gateway for you pretty much getting turned down in the game back in the day.
Yeah, it was.
Man, basically had great success to a certain extent,
Yeah.
So, I know you wasn't like flash like that, but you can dress pretty good back then. I seen some of the pictures.
Oh
I
man,
mean, you was a fashionable guy.
that was my thing. A lot of people, like you, was caught up in cars and all that. I always had a nice car, but my thing was clothes. I loved clothes, and so that's where my money. If you wanted to break me, show me clothes.
Man, I mean, so basic. You flew underneath the radar for a very long time then, since you wasn't extra flash like that. You basically look like a, how can I say this? More like a businessman.
Yeah, at the last part.
With a touch, a little touch of fashion a little bit.
But you got to understand, man. I had to come up. I didn't just jump out there, with kilos. I had to. I'm street corner guy, pretty much.
You got to build it up.
Yeah, you had to work. You had to market your merchandise.
Man, how was that back then? I know everything was like outside, I don't know if you can say that, but man, I know they had to be kind of, how can I say that? That was a lot of time consuming back then, right?
What you mean? They're talking about
You know, like marketing yourself.
oh yeah, that's like with anything. You just start up any business, you got to market it and work it.
I mean, the way some
It
people
wasn't
tell
that
it
many
right now, they
words.
act like it's just.
No, no,
I mean, it's easy to get caught right now, but
yeah.
back then, yeah, it's a lot of work.
Well, like I said, like I said, I was like a pioneer, man. I had to break grounds because when I came back into Memphis, really, the drug of choice was heroin. These people was caught up in heroin here in Memphis, and so I did. I came back to Memphis and introduced cocaine. I
What?
did, and not bragging on it because both of them was deadly, especially when they started putting, turning cocaine into crack.
Ooh.
We know that epidemic, and that's something I really hated that I was a part of. But like I tell people, I mean, it was what it was, and that's what I did. And but yeah, it was a little guy here named Craig Pettis. He's doing a life sentence. He'll never
Oh
get
yeah, I
out.
heard about him.
Yeah, he had the hookup that I did years try to get,
Oh wow.
and he stepped into it and got it, looked up and got it, and didn't know how to handle it. They was young and you know, just buck wild, and went to having bodies, killing, and all that, murderers and all like that. So,
Yeah, so
but I
unfortunate boy
always,
got violent.
I will say I was always finesse with it. I wasn't into the violence,
Oh, you was smooth with it
and that's
then.
what I did. Yeah, but I mean, still, when I look back, I ain't lying. It sometimes, not no more, but it used to depress me when I look back over and saw the epidemic and the hurt, pain, and sorrows and heartbreak that it brought into families and the society as a whole. And that's really I was a blight on society. So that's why I want to rectify those things. That's why I keep talking about kids and help them. So I mean, that's my heart set.
You're a walking testimony, man.
You know what? I am.
Most definitely.
I really am. I am, and that's what I want to tell the world about that.
Back then when you was doing your thing.
Right.
So basically, I know you said I hurt a lot of people. I know you kind of felt bad about it
I did.
to a certain degree. Well, I mean, I'm glad that you made it out of that. Actually, you got a sound mind. Actually.
Well, that's questionable. No, go ahead. Sometimes.
No, no.
No, I'm just joking.
No, basically what I'm saying, so I mean, I seen a lot of people that was doing stuff back in the day. I'm not gonna say they washed up, but I'm not. It's never too late to do something, but they defeated, man.
Yeah, I mean, when you say do something with something positive, or
I mean, all the negativity that was going on back in the day, they kind of let them eat them alive.
oh yeah,
They
yeah,
didn't get
yeah.
a chance. I mean, I get a chance, but oh shoot. I mean, I guess they let the past eat them up on the inside, totally.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you got to think about it too, Tony. And when you think about it, and I know it's hard for you to understand or see it because 27 years in prison.
It's a long time.
It's a hell of a long time. Yeah. And and by the grace of God, man, to come out and still I did. I probably should have gotten some counseling. You know what I'm saying? A little bit because I mean you got to remember when I went in it was 1990 when I went into prison, man.
I was 10.
Were you born?
I was 10.
Yeah. And so CDs was just coming out,
Mm-hmm.
and I think I saw a CD. I think within the week I was gone to
Wow.
prison. So I mean to do that and to come out, I've seen people that didn't do nothing but 10 years but and come out looking crazy. And I mean I even witnessed even in penitentiary, man. My cellie hung himself on the sprinkler
shoot,
system,
man.
So some people, and he didn't have a 10 years.
Mm.
You see, so a lot of people handle. You got to understand, a lot of people handle certain situations different ways. They can't handle it.
That's stressful, man.
depression. Well, it
For
is.
most folks.
Yeah, see, because we're all built different, I guess. So, and I know we do because, like I said, he only had 10 years.
How you stay strong that long, man?
See, here we go. I told you, I wear my faith on my sleeves. It's only because I got saved in prison. I ain't faking about when it comes to Jesus Christ is as real to me as the flesh is on my bone. You see? So I'm telling you, by the grace of God. If anybody, I tell people all the time, if anybody could told me before I went to prison, before I got sentenced, that, oh man, you can go through prison 27 years with peace and joy and all like that, I would have told them, y'all crazy as hell. You see what I'm saying? But I did that.
Wow.
I did that. The peace that surpasses understanding.
We
all
can
that stuff.
tell.
I'm telling you. I mean, it was just it was God, man. You see what I'm saying? I saw. Listen, I was there. I saw the inmates that couldn't handle it. You see what I'm saying? That didn't have no peace.
Mm.
That was getting so frustrated and taking the telephones and breaking it upside the wall and then get beat to death because we only had 3 telephones for 30 inmates.
Oh,
You know, they
man.
get so frustrated. And I saw them, and like I said, my celly hung itself on the sprinkler system, and I saw people that just couldn't do it. You couldn't do it. So yeah. For me to come out of prison, sound mind and all my limbs and extremities in working order, and no kind of health issues. So yeah, man. And the food, and you can only imagine how the food was. So, man. So what can I say? Yeah, but God again.
Man, I love that, man. That's facts on that.
So yeah,
I got another question before we ride out of here.
come on.
I mean, I know you left in 1990. I know the clothes and the technology, like the old school. Once you got out 27 years later, what was your reaction when you actually got out?
Man, listen, when I actually hit the streets,
Yeah, what did you see with your eyes?
when I hit the streets,
Yeah, when you hit the streets.
man, it was crazy. Let me very quickly tell you about this. Here, they give you a debit card with $100 on it, right? And so my partner, when I came out in the halfway house, that's transition from prison to the halfway house, then from the halfway house to home. And so I had this debit card. So I went to get some gas. Like I said, my partner gave me a car and all like that. And so I go to use this debit card. And listen, man, I broke out into a cold sweat. I'm at the gas pump. Listen, I'm telling you, I'm talking about literally. My hands got sweaty, and I went to perspiring, and cause I don't know what to do. I'm looking all crazy like a caveman discovering fire.
Oh, sure.
And man, I'm talking about I was so anxious. So I actually got the next pump. I said, "Hey, mister," and I told him my story, and I just got out. So he helped me out though, but it was crazy. A debit card drove me crazy.
I know back then y'all was dealing with majority of just cash and checks.
Yeah, exactly.
Card, all right, what the heck is this?
Yeah,
This is real.
and a smartphone and all that. You got to understand, I was a caveman coming out of prison,
Oh,
27
sure.
years. So yeah.
Well, you got an Android, right? A phone? Or you got an iPhone?
No, Android.
Yeah, wait till you get to the iPhone. You're
No,
going to be in
ain't
shock,
no wait.
man.
I never get that. I'll never get that. Y'all can have those iPhones.
You be like,
I'm trying to keep it simple.
You
Man.
go trip out, it's like one button.
Huh? I know my.
You be like, what the? Huh.
Yeah. I got people that have them. I don't mess with them.
So what your final thoughts at this time?
The what?
What you find your thoughts?
My final thought.
Yeah.
My final thought would be, don't deal cocaine. no. My final thought would be, hey, listen, buy my book. This is what I'm thinking about. Buy that book and read it. And I'm telling you, it would truly bless you. And then it would help me build this foundation that I really want. And like I told you guys, with me, it's all about the kids. It's all about helping the kids. So I just truly want God to build that platform for me so I can reach out to the kids and help some kids that I didn't get help from. Okay? And that's my final thought.
Oh, that's facts on that. By the way, this is Mr. Old School Ryder on the Ryder's Book Club podcast. And don't forget, once the book drop, I will be giving away 2 copies. Just hit me up in my email at the Ryder's Book Club at gmail.com. Or you can reach me on Instagram at the Ryder's Book Club podcast. Or if you want to reach out to my personal IG, it's also going to be Mr. Old School Ryder at IG and YouTube as well. By the way, we're over and we out. And we shout out to my boy in Memphis, Tennessee.
I can't let him get away, y'all. He done went from 3 to 2 books.
Oh, yeah, we're going to do 3. It's not that much money. It's 3. It's going to be 3. Don't worry about it. But yeah.
Frank, you said 3 more for 2.
I mean, I had 5 on my mind, but I'm gonna do 3 right now. We'll see what this 3 gonna do.
Okay.
If they keep asking for more, I'll get 2 more. But for now, we'll go with 3 books, courtesy of me. Y'all ain't gotta pay nothing. I even cover your shipping.
Hold his feet to the fire, y'all.
Hold my feet to the fire. It's gonna go slow, but it'll get there to you.
There you go.
Oh yeah. Shout out to Memphis. I also bring TV for letting me use in his studio.
Yeah.
Legendary studio in Memphis.
That's right.
Don't forget to check his platform out at Brink TV as well.
Yeah.
We done.
Oh, yeah. Let me give you the website to purchase the book. It's www.jimltownsend.com. cash.com. That's for the hard copy, the autograph hard copies. I will be autographing all the books, okay? How about that? Thank y'all. Peace.